Okay, we are recording now, and if those of you who are watching the recording know you didn't miss anything except the Spice Girls, you missed that at the very beginning. But I was just explaining how tonight is our first meeting of 2017, and guys, I have a great feeling about this year. I have an excited, fresh perspective on work ethic and what it takes to be successful, and I'm focusing on personal development and growing myself. Because I know our entire organization and our teams and your coaches and you will not grow if I don't grow. So that's like a really cool accountability for me. But 2016, I don't know whether you had a good year or a bad year. I know that in general, with the economy and with the Olympics being last year, the election being last year, any time in history, those two things have been in the same 12-month period. There has been a little dip in the economy, a little dip in the marketplace, a little dip in depression, a little dip in medical issues. It's so funny how the world works, right? So because last year might have been a little dizzy for you, join a lot of other Americans in saying goodbye 2016. You were not terrible, you weren't great, but peace out. Anybody feel that way? Peace out 2016, done. I know I didn't necessarily have a bad year, but it wasn't a great year. And I really want a great year. I really want greatness. And last year was a very pruning year. I'll put it that way. It was a very pruning year for me where I learned some really hard things, just balancing a better communication with my husband, figuring out my son's developmental delays, having a lot of missed goals in my business. It happens to all of us. But I never took my foot off the pedal. Why? Because there's something I want to share with you guys tonight called DNA. Does anybody know motivational speaker? He's the author. His name is Craig Holiday. Okay, he's phenomenal. And I know that a lot of his podcasts, you guys can listen to his podcast, listen to some webinar recordings. I'll actually post it might be a 20-minute, it might be 30-minute YouTube of training that I just listened to, and it was talking about how to start something off right, how to get focused, how to boil down, how to realize what's inside of you, whatever it takes, yada yada yada. So I was okay, as tonight we're going to talk about our mastermind. And again, for those of you who just joining on, welcome. I'm pumped. But tonight I am going to talk about some really important things. Moxie is a team full of doers. We're a team full of passionate people. You guys know my entire life mission is to love fast and live slow. So I'm going to love you tonight by giving you some good, tough love. And not because you need it, but because equally we can all grow and be sharpened. So I'm going to love you guys tonight to tell you that you have got to be self-motivated this year. Because perhaps in the years past, you have waited on somebody else to motivate you, or you have been easily swayed, or you have easily tripped and fallen and taken too long to get back up because of your own self-doubt, or because of your own fears, or because of your own struggles, or too much pressure that you're putting on yourself, or some other skeletons in the closet that you haven't worked out. This year I want our team to be full of leaders, and not just people. Leaders aren't necessarily the loud people. Leaders are not necessarily the ones who are making the most money. Leaders aren't necessarily the ones with the highest rank. Can you see me? My internet says it's unstable. Are we still good? No, I'm frozen! Can you see me? Hello? Am I frozen? I'm frozen. I'm frozen. Can you see me? Oh, bummer! Can you see me? Can you hear me? Okay, y'all, my entire computer just froze up and it logged me back in. So I have absolutely zero idea when I got cut off versus when I stopped talking. Somebody tell me. Again, we're friends here. This is not like a formal presentation. Unmute yourself.
You were saying that that leaders don't have to be, they can be the quiet ones, actually.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of cool. So my entire mission in life would be to love fast, live slow. And so I'm loving you guys tonight by sharing some really important lessons that I learned in 2016, because I want us all to be leaders. And leaders, like Aaron was reminding me, leaders doesn't mean that you have to be loud, that you have to be paid the most, that you have to have the highest rank. Leaders are people who are self-motivated and have a strong influence, right? So it took a lot of pressure off of me, as my goal was to, have really effective challenge groups, which then would help convert some of those challengers to coaches, which would then create some really passionate coaches on our team. And it's like the circle effect. You want to constantly do that. You want to lead by example, and then you want to help people in your challenge groups, which means you have to get new challengers every single month. And then with those new challengers, you're going to inspire them and love on them and lead them and influence them. And maybe 10% of them will join you as a coach because they're passionate. And then you want to add those people who's joined you as coaches. It's going to weed down a little bit more. Maybe 50% of the coaches who sign up are actually going to say, yeah, I think this business is cool. Let me give it a shot. And then you're going to keep going and training them on that same circle effect. So somebody who is a leader doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be the best at everything. It means that you have to transfer belief. It means that you have to transfer belief, transfer a passion. You have to lead by example, which means that there's not a day that you should be like, well, I'm going to take a break this week, or I'm going to sit back and I'm going to forget about my dreams and I'm going to forget about my goals, because there is something that I want to talk about tonight about our DNA. So Craig Holliday is a great, helpful teacher in network marketing, and he says that his definition of DNA is a determined natural ambition. And by a show of hands, I want to ask you guys, anybody in here, did you grow up with some desire in you and you said, someday, some way, I'm going to do something big with my life? Like, I don't know what it is, but I have this gut feeling of I'm going to do something big in my life. Okay? I love it. And I see your hands. Now, on the flip side, anybody in here ever think, I don't even want to speak this out into existence, but I know that in reality, there's some of you here that have never believed in yourself, and maybe you've never even thought that you could do something big. Is anybody here scared out of their mind because you think, no, I will never succeed in anything I do? And see, I appreciate your honesty, because you're not alone here. I think it's normal to have this internal DNA where you're like, I'm going to be successful. I'm going to do something big in my life. I just don't know what it is. And then the flip side, you guys might have people on your team who feel this way, or you might feel this way. People who don't believe in themselves naturally, people who are paralyzed by fear, or maybe they failed at 500 things in the past and they think that's their identity. You are going to have challengers and coaches on your team with both sides of those personalities. So what are you going to do about it? So you have to decide, what do you have? What are you going to do with this year? You have to have some internal desire inside of you that motivates you. I talked to you guys about like having that self-motivation, because I'm only one person. Oh man. And so I'm setting up these one-on-one calls with several of you guys and people who are my personal sponsor coaches and people who are not my personally sponsored coaches. And I'm setting up, you guys don't know this yet, but I'm setting up these like different pods based on people who have certain goals, and it's entire team-wide, it's entire Moxie-wide, because I'm determined to spend the time I have to build my personal business and then to pour into you guys. But because I only have 24 hours in a day and you only have 24 hours in a day, I thought, I got to create something that's duplicatable, because after all, I see your little sweet babies in this video right now. I know that we have other lives to live. I know that we have a husband to love, and or a significant other, or just a family, or a full-time job. Come on, guys, right? So Beachbody should be something that is creating a life for you. Now, does it mean you have to sacrifice hours and sacrifice emotion and sacrifice continual effort into something that sometimes doesn't pay off in the quick time you want it to? Absolutely, because that's called being an adult. That's called having a business. That's called being an entrepreneur. But having that desire inside of you is something that I cannot make. I cannot give you that DNA. You are born with that DNA to have a successful life, the determined natural ambition. When you wake up in the morning, you might live and breathe and think about Beachbody. You might think, I can't wait to do this. You might have gone through your entire holiday season and thought, oh my gosh, I'm feeling anxiety because I'm not behind my computer and I'm not responding to these messages and I haven't made this stellar epic post, or I haven't blah, 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 blah. Why? It's because there's something about this that you love, right? But life got busy, holidays happened, 2016 is gone, see you later. You have the entire next year to make your life change. Think about your next 90 days. How about this? Think about your past 90 days. Think about the past 90 days. If somebody told you, if somebody knocked on your door and said, you are going to lose your house, you are going to lose the bed that you sleep on, you are going to lose everything that you know as a home if you do not succeed in your business. And let's say that means diamond. Let's say that means making a certain amount of money. Maybe that means hitting Success Club 20. If you do not hit Success Club 20 for the next 3 months, you will lose your house. Do you think that you would work a little bit differently because your life was on the line? I know I would. If somebody said it is do or die, like you cannot pay for your child's medication, you cannot put food on your table, you cannot pay for your mortgage unless you go out there and start 10 new conversations every single day. And if it was that do or die, would it change the way that you wake up in the morning and prioritize your time? If it does, then that means that maybe you're not prioritizing your time and having good time management. Because this is not just, this could be a fluff thing for you, and this could be just a side thing where you're excited because you love to help people, and it's really, it feels amazing to feel significant because you feel significant when you help people. I totally get that. But this business, this entire golden egg that you're sitting on is like one of the only companies, one of the only opportunities you're ever going to have where you can simultaneously create significance and success at the same time. Corporate people spend their entire life creating success, and when they reach the top, they feel crappy about themselves because they stepped on so many people to get ahead. But Beachbody, you're able to create significance and success and an entire lifestyle at the same time. So as kids, were you guys dreamers? Right? Like, weren't we all dreamers? And I guess, like, looking back, we forgot, and we said, well, I got hurt this one time, or I tried this thing and I failed, or one time this one person told me that I was good for nothing and they were right. Life happens. So let me be a little middle school teacher again. Raise your hand. If in the past 90 days you have been through a personal struggle, in the past 90 days, have you gone through something that was hard, that kind of took your feet from under you? All right. Jerry Falwell says, this is a quote that I like, as I like this a lot. He says that you are either in a struggle, you're coming out of one, or you're going to get a phone call tomorrow. A lot of people are posting all of these new year, new fresh start, clean slate. I love it. I love the feeling that you can, like, forgive yourself, forgive others. I love having the fresh atmosphere to renew yourself, to recharge, feeling free of the past things. Nothing else is weighing you down. Like, nothing else can stop you because this is your year. But unless you change your behaviors, you're going to run into the same thing you did that made you dislike 2016. Now I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to 2016 and not talk about it anymore. But I want you guys to understand that just because the calendar year had an additional numeric increase, just because it clicked up, 1 point, one number up, does not mean that automatically the amount of effort that you were giving to your dreams is significantly going to make a bigger result in 2017. It doesn't work like that, right? If you are working your business 1 day out of 7, it's not magically going to start clicking and working this year. Something has to change. Maybe it's your power hour. Maybe you need to start 10 new conversations a day. Maybe you need to start back up hosting monthly challenge groups. Maybe you need to wake up earlier and really commit to a workout program from start to finish so you feel good about yourself. Maybe it's something that you can do in your own behaviors, in your own belief. Maybe you need to pick up some personal development. I've been showering myself with that lately. I read a lot of your goals. And let me tell you what, this year, it is going to be incredible. With Beachbody On Demand, All Access, like a virtual gym for the entire world all year, hello, even future releases. I mean, it's unreal. And if you guys aren't already putting it on your calendar to go to your local Super Saturday this weekend, it's January 7th, or it might be a Sunday in your area, but it's a local event that happens in a city near you where coaches gather together and they watch a video from corporate with tons of announcements, and it's a chance for you to rub elbows with other people in your area to see, hey, what's working? Let's meet up, or let's not meet up. Just let me get pumped up by seeing that there's other dreamers like I am. But did you guys know that Carl Deichler is going to announce the 2018 Success Club trip? Did you know that in 12 months from now, you could be buying a plane ticket to some amazing Caribbean island free of charge, paid by Beachbody? It's called a Success Club trip. So if you sign up for the Success Club trip, you can win a free trip with your spouse, with your family, whatever, just because you worked hard this year and helped a lot of people each month. These are things that are beneficial. These are things that motivate me. I love that kind of thing. But you can't just say, oh, well, I want to hit Success Club this month, and I want to be diamond in 12 months, or I want to be diamond in 60 days, or I would really love to be making $100 a week, or I really need to start making $1,000 a month. Those things are great. But if I ask you, okay, well, what are you doing? I'm really trying. One day I'm going to get there. I don't want to hear that. Like, nothing but love, but I don't want to hear I'm trying. I want to hear you set a date. I want to hear you say, on this day, I am going to achieve this. And I want you to make it a do or die thing. I know that life happens and things come up. I don't want you to think that you're a complete failure if you happen to hit that goal a week later. It's not about that specific date. It's about the commitment you're making in your head to do whatever it takes. People ask me all the time, well, Laura, okay, well, what's it going to take? My answer is it's going to take what it takes. Like, it's going to take what it takes 24/7. 24/7 is going to take what it takes. Are you willing to do that? Now, I'm not talking about sacrificing your family. I'm not talking about stepping on others to succeed. Girl, I've been there, done that in corporate America, and it's no fun. That will deplete your feeling of significance and happiness and, like, internal satisfaction. Can you head now? Love you, babe. It's fine. What I'm asking you to do is make a commitment to yourself, because you're worth it. Your dreams are worth it. That childhood, that kid inside of you that said, someday, some way, I'm going to do something big with my life. Why can't that be right now? And if you're not working hard to make that someday, some way, I'm going to do something big with my life come true, then what are you waiting on? Are you waiting on some other job opportunity that's going to take you away from your family, that's going to tell you that you can get a 1% raise each year, that's going to tell you that they're only going to pay you what they can afford instead of you telling yourself, I'm going to get paid what I work towards? It's a completely different paradigm shift for you to say, I am going to create freedom. This does not have to be your full-time gig at all. Some people want this to be their entire career. Some people just want this to be some cash on the side to get out of debt. Girlfriend, I am all about that. But do not limit yourself out of fear. Put a date to it. No more, I'm trying. No more, we'll see what this year does. Because if you set a date to it, then you're going to be committed to that. What if somebody said, you will lose your house in 30 days if you do not hit Success Club 30? I told you guys, right? Would you work differently? What would you do differently? What would you do differently? What would your day look like? Would you wake up earlier, get your workout, and start your power hour before you went to work? Probably. Would you be so tired? Probably. But you know what that means? That means you probably need to start drinking more water. You need to start cleaning up your diet. You need to probably start going to bed earlier and turn off your Netflix, because then you need to change your lifestyle to accommodate the dreams that you have. No wonder we're all tired. Maybe we're tired because we have this unhealthy, like, bad habits in our life that's slowing us down, because as a health and fitness coach, there are literal things that slow us down, like refined sugars, refined grains, drinking, a lack of sleep, mental stress. Those things are going to slow you down and make you exhausted. When you're exhausted, you're not going to want to work, or when you do work, you're going to get cranky. What does cranky do? Cranky ruins your relationship with your husband and your spouse. So to take care of yourself is not just to run hard toward your goals. It's to take care of your entire being from the inside out, through personal development, through growing yourself, through eating better, because eating better now doesn't just mean because you want a six-pack. Eating better and drinking lots of water and eliminating bad habits no longer is just about you fitting into a size pants that you want. Now it's about having the energy and the clearness and the passion and the alertness and the time to reach your dreams. You have got to clean up your bad habits this year, not because of what it's going to do on the outside, but what it's going to do on the inside and what it's going to do for your entire family. And is it worth it? Yes, it's worth it. Yes, it is worth it. We have got to change our way of thinking. To be a CEO of our business means we have to take control of our life. Right? I mean, I'm trying to really clean up my diet. Tonight, today I ordered a salad, and then I ate the rest of my son's pizza. And I was like, well, tomorrow will be a better day. Tomorrow will be a better day. So it's not like, you can't have crap. But just think about the things that might slow you down, or the excuses you're giving yourself of, I'm tired, I don't have time, we don't have money. What are you spending your money on? Are you being unwise with your money? Is being unwise with your money limiting your ability to do something greater with your business? Is being unwise with your time limiting your ability to build your dreams? Is being unwise in a certain area in your life limiting your ability to make a really big impact and be a better leader for your organization that you're building? Okay? So I don't want you guys to just wander around. I don't want us this year to just say, well, we'll see what happens. I really hope that it's different. Or for you to start this week of doing your power hour and then dipping out next week. I want you guys to internalize this, to have that DNA inside of you that says, I will do something great with my life. And it starts with right now. It starts with right now. Something that I'm doing differently this year that has really helped me not be so scared of the entire year is, and I've shared this with you guys, I'm setting short-term goals. I have 2017 on my dream board, on my list board, right? I'm like, okay, by the end of the year, I want this. But I broke it down to 12-week periods. And I'm treating April 1st like January 1st. I am treating April 1st, which is 12 weeks from now-ish, as if that is my do or die for my entire yearly goals, okay? And I'm going to treat each week like it is a month. And every single week, I'm going to achieve this, do or die. Each day, I'm going to wake up and do this, do or die. Because now it's no longer of, oh, well, I didn't do what I know I should have done last week. Now it's, well, if I don't do what I said I'm going to do, then I'm not going to hit that April 1st goal. It matters. Every single day matters. Perfection is unrealistic. You can't be perfect. But practice at being perfect, and you will always improve. One of the statistics that Craig Holliday was talking to us about on this webinar I'm going to send you guys is that statistically in his career, now he worked at Amway way back when, and he said if he has 130 conversations, you get that? 130 conversations, and that might be a month for you, that might be 5 months for you, that might be a week for you, depending on how aggressive you are with your goals. He says you might get 30 people to say yes out of 130 conversations. Out of those 30 people, 10 of them will say yes and then say no, right? Can I get an amen? How many of you guys have had somebody say, I'm so ready, I'm so committed, and then they go MIA? It happens, girl, it's not just you. 10 of them will actually say yes, follow through with it, and it will stay on the product. They'll go to your challenge groups, they'll participate a little bit, and 10, maybe out of the 30 of those, they have a good experience, they will turn into business building coaches, right? So out of 130 conversations, and I'm not just talking about conversations, I'm talking about invitations. Because if you follow me, you know that I train you guys on the funnel. Funnel. You will hear me say that all day long. Funnel. Meaning you have to build your pipeline. You have to build your list. You have to have a contact list. You have to have constant flow of new people seeing your information, or constant flow of you adding new people to your list, you building a relationship with them, you connecting with them, you asking about their life. And then when you get to a point of inviting them to something, it could be a free group, it could be a coach webinar, it could be a challenge group, it could be anything. It could be one of our webinars that we host about health and fitness tips. It could be inviting somebody to read something on your blog that was helpful. Some type of, hey, welcome to my life. Hey, please walk into the doors of my home so I could show you something of value. 130 of those might equal 30 yeses. 10 of those will never respond to you again. 10 of those will join your challenge group. They will love it. And 10 other of those will join your challenge group and maybe become a coach. And out of those 10 coaches, you can nurture that, and maybe half of them will stick around. You're thinking, oh my gosh, that sounds like a whole heck of a lot of work. Yeah, it is. But is it worth it? Is it worth it? Are your dreams worth it? Is your 2017 worth it? Is your family worth it? Are your kids worth it? Is getting out of debt worth it? How much do you want it? I don't know what motivates you. I don't know what gets you out of bed in the morning. Maybe it's literally just because you're trying to get by and survive and take the next breath. I get it. Maybe you're struggling financially. You don't even want to deal with it. But what if you wrote down, you said, by April 1st, I'm going to pay off $2,000 of debt? What if April 1st you said, I'm going to be a diamond, do or die, and I'm going to help 2 of my 8 coaches hit Success Club every month? How are you going to do that? Break it down. Talk to me. Talk to your upline. Let's reverse engineer it. But until you set a date and stop just wandering, thinking that if you throw spaghetti on the wall, you're going to achieve your dreams, you won't. It just doesn't happen that way. So I gave you a soapbox. I'm going to open the rain. I'm going to open the call up. 2017 Mastermind call. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear what you want out of this year. I want to hear what you've already done that was good this year, something exciting, any questions you have. I'm going to stop talking. I just got fired up because it's up to each of us. It is up to each of us individually to make this year amazing, and not just the year, but 12 weeks. 12 weeks, just it. Can you give your all for 12 weeks? And if you burn out in 5 weeks and you want to quit your goals, then get over it. Take a day, sleep it off, get back up and try again, right? There's no failure. There's no failure on this team because as a team, we are Moxie. We are here to pick each other up. We know that this can be fun and satisfying. It can be rewarding. But being an entrepreneur, while you're also trying to spin plates in your life, it can be hard. But I'm willing to do hard because I was born with some kind of DNA that said someday, some way, I'm going to do something with my life because I don't want to be mediocre. And I've got to stop thinking mediocre. I've got to stop accepting average behavior if I don't want to be average. Does that make sense? All right. So let me ask a question specifically instead of leaving it open. Can a couple of you share with me quickly a specific date and goal that you have for the next 12 weeks?
Since no one's talking, I'll go. But I specifically want to be 2-star and 3-star qualifying.
By what day?
Well, 2-star by February 15th, 3-star qualifying by April 15th.
I'm writing this down. I love it. Is your team on board?
Well, we haven't specifically all talked yet. I set a goal, dates with them to talk about their goals and stuff, and hopefully get them fired up and on the same vision and same direction as me. So we shall see. I know one at least is on board, and then I can do my husband. That's something I have control over.
Ashley's probably on board, right?
Yeah, she's on board, and then, I can make Joe be diamond.
Yeah. I'm building my mom and Nick to diamond to help them with income, and then also create a more stable 10-star team for the goal I have for the future. So I get that. That's not ideal because I want real coaches doing real things, and that will come, but I don't think there's anything wrong with you building your husband to diamond as long as you have enough diamonds in your first CBC, in your main CBC.
Yeah.
You guys talk. Are we not friendly here? Am I not friendly? Can I hug you? You want to whisper in my ear?
No, that one's just really hard to follow. That's impressive. No, okay, so I really slacked the end of 2016. I know we said we weren't going to bring that up again, but, and no excuses. But I want to add at least 4 more coaches to my team. And I want to make 2 emerald by January. I mean, not January, by April 1st.
You can do more than that, but I'll set your own. You set your own goals, but you're holding yourself back. You just think about it. Sleep on it, girl.
Okay.
I'm writing your goals down because your goals are more important than my goals for you. I just think that if you work as hard as you want to work, as hard as you can, you will far surpass this.
Okay, well, maybe I just don't know what I can do. I think coming off a couple tough months,
Yeah.
I'm probably down on myself. So maybe that's it.
Yeah.
I'll try.
No, look, I wrote it down. Like I said, it's your goals and I will celebrate. I will celebrate with you. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I just don't want you to be scared.
I'm not scared. I'm not scared at all. I mean, I hope I far surpass that, but
That's really awesome though. It really is.
Okay, I'll go.
Okay.
Okay, I want to hit diamond by March 31st. And the goal would be to gain 2 coaches per month. So 6 coaches in the next 3 months. And then obviously turn 2 of my coaches to emerald by March 31st to hit diamond.
Touche. I like it. I like it. Sounds like you and Aaron should be success partners because you have similar goals. I like it. Who else? Okay, so I had 3 people give me specific dates with a specific goal. So let me ask a new question, unless somebody else wants to share their goals. Going once. Going twice. Should I put some more Spice Girls on? 3 times you're out. No more telling me goals. New question. I want 3 more people to answer this question. What is, and let's just be real, all right? Like, let's call a spade a spade. No, I'm not afraid of it. What is something that you are terrified of this year or the next 12 weeks? What are you scared of in your business to set goals or in your life? Anything.
Hey, can I share?
Yeah. No, you can't, girl. We don't allow pregnant people to talk on their calls.
I know. Well, besides the fact that I'm delivering my first child in the next 12 weeks, that's terrifying. But so I know like a ton of coaches, and like even the thought of going to Super Saturday, like I don't even want to go because there's so many coaches around here. And like even on like mom pages I'm on and all this stuff, like the swap sites, local swap sites and stuff, people just like post their stuff. And for me, like that's just not how I've ever run my business. Like I feel like I want to be more personal than just like, hey, here's this new weight loss thing, why don't you try it with me, and so I try to stay away from those as far as like and sure, I've started some conversations that, somebody has a need for a health or fitness wise, and I'll shoot them a message and start a conversation. But I guess with so many, I get really intimidated by the amount of coaches that like prowl the area. So I guess that's my like, what's holding me back right now is I don't really know how to, like, I don't want to step on other people's territory kind of thing, I guess. But then at the same time, like, it makes me angry because I'm like, oh my gosh, like, why didn't I jump on that person? Like, I can't believe I missed that opportunity because I've been coaching for like way too long. Somebody new will hop on the scene and like snag all these people, and I'm like, oh gosh.
Well, okay, Jess, can you tell her that? I called you out. It's perfect. Tell her.
Yeah, sorry. I was like typing as you're thinking, so I didn't forget things. But yeah, like what makes you unique? Because people are going to be drawn to you that are going to connect with you, not necessarily someone else. So even if your town is like flooded with coaches, like they're not everybody is going to
Right.
like gel with you, if that makes sense. So what makes you unique? What sets you apart? And are you using that to brand yourself on your Facebook page or like page or whatever it is you're doing? How are you you taking you and putting it into your post so that you're attracting your tribe.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess maybe I need to work on a brand more.
Do you think that your business is limited to local?
Not necessarily. Because I have a ton of like old college friends and stuff that are all over the place. So I don't limit it to just local people.
Well, I live in a place called Tampa, Florida, and you might recognize some of these coaches in the area. Lindsay Matley, Lindsay, Bonnie Engel, Katie Hefner, Danette Anderson, Becca Robinson. So I'm thinking, holy baloney.
Right.
Like it's taken. This territory is taken. But I get new people every single month. I have new people every single month say, I connect with you. I'm motivated by you because X, Y, and Z. And there's people also that are not motivated by me that are motivated by them. And it is sometimes local people because of networking. But you have different chapters of your life. You nailed it on the head. You have college people, right? You have maybe people you grew up with, high school friends. You have, I don't know what else you're involved in locally, but the internet is such a powerful thing. And you are so smart, girl. You are so smart, and you know exactly what you should do. I mean, you're probably like, no, I don't. Yes, you do. Like, you know that the internet is powerful, and you know that keeping your Facebook public, connecting with a couple of new people each day, reaching out proactively.
Mm-hmm.
And it might only be 30 people a week that you add to your list, but building real relationships with 30 new people every single week, your cold market will blow up. And it doesn't matter who is in your area, because then all of a sudden people are like, this Meredith girl is so motivating, and I don't know why I haven't noticed her before. Or she said, he said, they said, start sharing your stuff. You're more exposed outside of your city. You have great consistency with your workouts, girl. I love seeing your pregnant belly. I'm like, she's getting it. I know it's dark.
Killing me right now.
I was like, she's working out in the morning before work. You're killing it. Don't kill yourself, but you're building momentum right now. You're building eyes on you. You are. So don't think that just because you have a lot of people in your area, it's limiting you, because that is, you have like a shortage mentality where you think there's only a certain amount of people to grab. And once they're all grabbed, your chances of success are gone. There's like 6 million people in the world, a billion people in the world. Like Jess said, you are unique. You're smart. You brand yourself. You continue to brand yourself, but add people to your list each week so you see the new people that you're connecting with, instead of thinking, well, I should have, could have, would have. Because if you're proactive, new people will come to you.
Yeah, I need to work on time management too. That'll help.
Tracy said she can understand how you feel, Meredith, in the chat box.
Yes, don't we all?
Yeah. Right, if we let fear dictate us. I am too. I'm like, oh, I didn't follow up with this one person, and now I see them in another challenge group, or I obviously didn't motivate this coach enough because they decided to quit. I just got to keep moving forward. So, some people will, some people won't move on. Like, that's cool. So Brittany Leggett has this quote. She said, some will, some won't. So what? Who's next? And that's not to belittle the significance of every person we have in contact, but it's to also understand that sometimes you could say the best things and do the best things and be the best mentor or have the best motivation, but it's still with somebody who's not ready. So a mantra that we can have in 2017 is some will, some won't. So what? Who's next? Keep asking.
Thank you.
Yeah, girl. 2 more people. What you scared of? Julia?
Okay, sorry.
Who's
So are
talking?
you
Sarah?
Sarah McPherson? Sorry, my video's not working, but hi, Laura.
Hi, girl. What's up, Sarah? You better talk. I'm gonna put them out.
So my fear is spreading myself too thin and then sucking at everything. You know, like the mom, the wife, I have a full-time job outside. So my fear is that I'm going to go from being really good at some of those things to just being really crappy at all of them. You know what I mean?
I know far too well what you mean. Anybody have advice for Sarah? I don't want to talk because you guys are smart. Julia Payne, where you at, girlfriend? Hey, I'm going to ask you something. Will you explain lifeboat versus tugboat in a second? But do you have anything to share with her about feeling spread too thin? Do you understand what she's feeling because you work full time and have a life and go?
I do understand that, and I feel like I spread myself too thin every single day. So I can relate with you, girl. I do work full time, and on my breaks, I do Beachbody. Then I come home and I do Beachbody. And then if I'm off work, I'll do Beachbody all day. So plus, dogs and life, husband and whatnot. So I guess, what's the book? The One Thing. You read that book?
I'm sorry, what?
The One Thing. It's a book. Let me grab it.
I haven't.
It is pretty amazing. It helped me. I should probably read it again because I, again, have spread myself too thin, but it's called The One Thing, and it teaches you you have your to-do list, and out of that, you knock it down. Like, say you have 10 things, knock it down to 5 things, then knock it down to the 3 most important things, and then pick the most important thing, and you do that thing. You give it all your focus. And then you move on to the next most important thing. You have your list, and then you pick the second most important thing and you finish that. And I guess it's, you just pick one thing, give it your full attention. Because I know me personally, I have so many things going on at once that it takes me so much longer to get through it. So if I focus on that one thing, I get it done a lot quicker, and then I can move on to the next thing, and then my day gets shorter. So, yeah, I guess that's my advice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll look into that book. Thank you.
Yeah.
The link is not working. Okay, let me see if I can get another Amazon link. The One Thing. It's by Gary Keller. So if you guys look at that, I'll write Gary Keller in here. So at least you guys can look up. And I hope that it's not really natural for somebody to wake up and say, I'm going to create a personal development plan for the next 90 days. Right. I get it. But it would be really beneficial for you if you didn't. Like if you picked one book a month and just knock it out. Right now, I am reading one called Superfoods by Darren O'Lean, the creator of Shakeology. And that's been really helpful for me to understand life sources and what energizes me and what's going to help me feel healthy all around. So One Thing is also on my list of personal development books. One thing, Sarah, that I can totally understand is when I was working in corporate America, I told my husband all the time, I felt like I was giving 50% of myself to everything and I was sucking in it. And I developed heart palpitations. I got swine flu. Like I'm learning now that stress had a lot to do with my different ailments that I was struggling with. I think that book would help you simplify. Maybe you think that you have to conquer the world instead of taking bite-sized pieces. Or maybe, just like any other human being, you really are like insanely busy where you're working full time, you're trying to keep up with life, and you just don't know if you have it in you. Clean up your life habits, clean up your diet, drink more water. Maybe you'll get more energy and you'll realize that you can actually do more in a 24-hour period while also still having 8 hours of sleep.
I will try that. Thank you.
Can I add a little tidbit to that as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Another important thing that I found is to unplug, have time where it's you time to like de-stress and let some of that stress go from feeling like you're spread too thin. And it's kind of stressful at first to unplug from that because you know you have so many things to do, but legit like take time to breathe, turn your phone off, like your computer off, and spend time with your family or go get a massage or something. And then afterwards you feel refreshed and rejuvenated, and then you can hit it tenfold.
Good word. You will not be as effective if you're like, if you don't, I don't know, if you're just feeling foggy and dizzy, maybe you do need to go like take a walk or do personal development instead, or take a 15-minute power nap. It's insane how, if you're feeling dizzy, you're not going to accomplish as much in 1 hour as you could in 7. What is this, 8 hours? Well, Teresa, not everyone is a nocturnal nurse like you are. And Teresa's like, what's 8 hours of sleep? She doesn't sleep at night. All right, one more person. What are you afraid of? Because whatever you're afraid of, everyone else has already said they are afraid of it too. Anything different?
I'll go.
Okay.
Again. Here we go. I guess I don't know why I'm so afraid of it, but I'm afraid of letting my coaches down. Like I only have 2. Well, Jordan, but he's my husband, so he doesn't really count. But I don't want to let them down per se, like train them wrong, or I try to lead by example, but one of my coaches is already inactive and the other one, she's amazing, I love her, but I am scared shitless that I'm gonna make them not want to be coaches anymore. So that's my fear.
What do you think would make them not want to be coaches anymore?
I don't know, something that I do. I don't see. I'm having a fear about something that's not even here yet. I get that from my mom.
Does anyone understand what she's feeling? Right, you can speak up or okay. I have my thoughts, but I want to hear from other people. And there's no wrong answer. Like, who else, if somebody else is scared, like gonna poop in their pants to think, well, I don't want to add to my team because what if I fail them? Who's trying to conquer that with her?
I mean, I kind of feel the same way because some of the coaches that I did have that were like the first, month or so, they had that new coach like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do this. And then like all of a sudden, I guess maybe they didn't have the success that they were hoping for, or maybe I really did do a crappy job of getting them started and then they quit. And so it's just been lonely old me for all these years. So I totally get what she's saying. And I'm terrified to bring someone new on because I'm afraid I'm going to not give them what they need, or opposite of scare them off by giving them too much.
First 30 has really eliminated a lot of pressure for you guys, for everyone to feel like they have to be perfect. Because it literally is this. I don't know if you guys know the flow of what happens when a coach signs up, because it's been a hot second. And they've changed things. They've improved things. So when somebody signs up as a new coach on your team, on anybody's team, they automatically get an email from corporate. Welcome to Beachbody. Welcome to Team Beachbody. Congratulations on signing up as a coach. We're so pumped. There's a video in that email, embedded in that email, with Jeff Hill and Michael Neiman. Very fun, very charismatic, and it's saying, welcome. This is what you can expect. This is awesome. This is who Beachbody is. This is what in the next 30 days or in the next 30 hours, what you can learn. Okay? So they get an email. That's within the first 30 minutes of them enrolling as a coach. They will get an email with that video, because eye-to-eye contact makes somebody feel more connected, more on pace, more excited. So release yourself from that pressure. If somebody signs up as a coach, they're going to get that email. It's their responsibility to open that email and to watch that video. You can let them know you're about to get an email with a video. Watch it. You're going to be pumped. But it's not your responsibility to nag them and hound them, and if they don't watch it, it's not your fault. So forget about that. It's not your fault if they do not take advantage of the resources. Within the first 30 minutes, they will get an email with a video. Within the first 30 hours, it's your responsibility to send them a link of the first 30 business guide. Now, I'm going to post a link to that in the chat box, okay? So, as you guys are talking, as you're signing up people, hey, check your email, watch this video. I'm super pumped. Let me know after you watch that video. I'm going to send you a checklist. Do you like checklists? People usually like, yeah, I love checklists. So then as a coach, what is your role? It is simply to pass on a checklist, a document that's going to walk them through their Coach Online Office. It's going to walk them through some training things on setting up a goal for the next 30 days. It's going to teach them where their coach ID is. It's going to teach them to start following Team Beachbody on Facebook. It's going to teach them to, enroll in the email list for the 411 Beachbody. So they're constantly getting the updates and announcements. Maybe the pressure you feel is that you have to constantly feed them like a baby bird, like a mama bird, the information that is in the Coach Online Office. But that's not your job. Your job is not to be a manager or a boss or to micromanage them. Your job as a leader is to transfer belief, right? It's to transfer belief. So it's first 30 minutes, you're going to get an email with a video. It's in their court to watch it. First 30 hours, it's their responsibility. It's your responsibility to send them this link. It's super easy. You can just copy and paste it every time. Send them this link to this PDF. They can print it out, fill it out. After that, you guys schedule a getting started right call. If you are nervous about doing a phone call with a new coach, do it. Do a 3-way with you and another coach, right? Or set up, every Thursday night, we're going to do me and my success partner are going to do a getting started right call with all of our new coaches or whatever. Do something even as a group, but don't be afraid of getting on the phone with your new coach, because all you have to do is walk through that first 30 guide. I'll show you. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna actually send you guys this link. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? The first 30. What's it called? I think it's called. It used to be the 7-day quick start guide, and now it's called something different. Does that ring a bell for anybody?
Is it in our back office?
Yes. Oops, hold on. Okay, let me actually, you guys can watch this. This is the video they get in their first 30 minutes. Okay, so this video is what they get in the first 30 minutes, just so you guys can watch it and feel like you know what they should expect. It is in our back office, and let me pull it up. Okay, so after that, again, I'm just telling you, your responsibility as a leader is to do these things, love on them, keep in touch with them, but you can lead a horse to water. And if they choose that this opportunity is not for them, you can't let it define your ability to lead. You can't let it define your ability to build an organization. Why? Some will, some won't, so what? Who's next? We love everybody, but do you know how many girl, you know how many of my coaches have quit? Right? And I'm still here. I don't think you guys scare anybody off. There's always room for improvement, and maybe you have made leader mistakes because you're human. I will be the first to tell you I have made leader mistakes. I have made countless leader mistakes, some of which have led to coaches quitting. Yes, but I do not hold that as my responsibility, because at the end of the day, it's their life and it's my life. But this first 30 program made things a lot easier. For people to say, I did what I was supposed to do to lead a coach, and it's their responsibility to actually follow through. Let me see the documents. And if anyone else has it, feel free to post it in the Meeting Resource Center. Okay, I'm having a hard time finding it. Let me find it now. Hold on. Maybe that's why nobody has it, because nobody can find it. Has anybody used this before, like the first 30 flow, or is this new to everybody? Because if it's new to everybody, then obviously I haven't, duplicated that well enough. You guys are familiar with it? Okay. Well, if you're not familiar with it, you're not behind. You just got to read and dig and ask questions. But I'm going to share with you exactly what I say to all of my new coaches when they say, it's official, I've signed up, what's next? This is literally copy and paste what I send to new coaches. Woohoo, here's a document I want you to work through. You should receive an email soon with some first steps and a video to watch. And check this out. I would love for you to fill this out, and then let's schedule a call and a time to chat about your goals. That link right there, I'm going to share my screen, leads to, can you guys see my screen? We'll wrap it up here in a second because I know it's been an hour, and I appreciate your time. It's going to lead them to this. So as a coach, you guys have goals to build your rank because it influences your income. Totally get it. I love the goal. I love the focus. Do not be scared to build your team. Do not be scared to add coaches to your organization. You can do this. You can absolutely do this. So the first 30, this is your 30-day action plan. They're going to write down their why. They're going to write down my first, click, I want to help 3 new people join a challenge group, success club, blah, blah, blah. They might not understand what a challenge group and success club is. That is okay. Why? Because you know what it is. And during that getting started right call, that could be something you can explain in 5 minutes. You don't have to spend an hour on the phone with these people. I have such phone anxiety because I'm awkward on the phone. So I'm always like, what do I say? What do I say? What if they ask something I don't know? It doesn't matter. You're just a friend to them at that point. You're literally just somebody who's listening to them and telling them, yes, I support your dreams. Yes, I support this goal. Yes, you can do this. That's what they want to hear. That's what they want to know. So they fill this out, and once they fill this out, they can send a copy of it to you. You guys can schedule a phone call. And then the end of that phone call, your call to action can literally be, great, now that you have your first 30-day action plan, I see that your commitment is that you wrote down that you wanted to help 3 new people in the next 30 days. Perfect. My next challenge group is this day. You can help me, you can co-lead that group with me. I'll teach you kind of how I have done challenge groups in the past. Doesn't have to be formal. If any of you guys have ever been an apprentice coach of mine, you know that it's not formal. I don't have giant PDFs that I created. I don't have giant homemade videos that I've made. I literally create a group thread between me and the co-leaders of my group and say, hey, who's going to post what day? Okay. And I tell everyone to add their challenges to the group and say your responsibility as a co-leader or as an apprentice coach is to be influential, to be positive, to work out every day, to do what you say you're going to do, and that's how we're going to lead the group. And I personally, I lead a new coach training every single month. 3rd Monday of every single month, rain or shine, there will be a new coach training, 15-day coach training that any of you guys are welcome to put your coaches into. Eventually, when you become diamond and above, I expect you guys to rise to the occasion and lead your own new trainings because I don't want everyone to ride my coattail because it's going to limit your growth. I don't want your coaches to not think that you, when you're a diamond and star diamond, that you are not building your own training because you can. But until that point, don't stress. Put them in my training. That's what I'm here for. So put them in that training, and then each month we'll just continue to work. Make sure you're on the team calls so they get on the team calls. Make sure you're on the national wake-up call so they listen to the national wake-up call. Gosh, I hate when I talk for 40 minutes like that, but I hope that was helpful. Now she's gone. She left. Is she still here? No, Meredith is gone. I scared Meredith away. Did that help anyone else since Meredith is not here anymore? Okay. Did you guys know about that already? Okay, first 30 is where it's at. Look at FAQ, read about it, but the links that I posted for you guys, copy and paste them, save in wherever you want to save things, and use that. Because you can be a leader so you can build your team and train them much more easy than you think. So we will wrap it up. Anybody want to say anything else? I'm going to unmute everybody just so there's some kind of noise. Now it's probably chaos. Okay, somebody has some TV in the background. Any parting words?
Laura,
Yes.
how do you motivate the challengers that are like so pumped in the beginning, and then by like week 2 you can slowly see that they're drifting? By week 3 there's like nobody left in the group. Like I feel that's the biggest challenge for like the last 4 groups. Like me, Julia, and Aaron ran a few groups. I think out of the 2 that we ran, November was the best, but like honestly by week 3 there's nobody but coaches in there.
Yeah.
I mean, we give giveaways away, extra challenges. I don't know. Like, if you don't have challengers that complete the program and they're excited, a lot of times they're not turning into coaches because they're not completing the program and not getting the results, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's where I don't know where we're going wrong.
Christine, I think you're downplaying it a little bit though, because I think also we were in December. Like November was our best one, but I think December was tough for everybody. I can't speak for everybody's challenge groups, but I'm sure that.
But I think my October one was like that.
Yeah.
The September one was okay because it was the health bet. And August was okay because it was, I think, Country Heat came out in August, correct? So people were pumped about that. But I mean, besides the health bet and that new release, even Quarter Force came out in November. And really, I don't even think half our challengers completed it from day 1 to 30.
I don't think anybody expected the workouts to be so long.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not being like half empty, but if you said I don't think even half of our challengers completed it, so what you're saying is almost half your challengers completed it? If that's the case, statistically that proves accurate.
I don't even know. Well, I don't know, to be honest, because they like dwindle. That's the problem. Is that like I've been in Carrie's group, and she like posts like 3 or 4 times a day. Mm-hmm. So but my thing is, as a coach, do I want to is that over posting, or like is that annoying, like posting and tagging people 3 or 4 times a day? I mean, some days nobody even does the call to action. Even if there's a giveaway, people don't even want to do a call to action.
Mm-hmm. I think we've all been in the same boat. Sometimes people aren't Facebook people, sometimes they are. If that's the case, sometimes I revert to more, I still post daily in there, and I don't attach the success of my group on like how many comments there are on that daily post. If I know that, okay, this group is a little bit different, this personality is different, so I'm going to take my energy and I'm going to take my effort behind the scenes, one-on-one. I'll send them a text. How's your workout today? I'm checking in with you. Did you eat right? How you feeling? What's going on? Are you okay? Don't go MIA. And I'll take it one-on-one. And sometimes
I do that one-on-one once a week with each of your challengers, or do you do that like every other day?
I really start to actually build like a relationship with them where I'm like, hey girl, like what's going on? You wanted this, what's going on? So I used to make it really formal, like once a week, here's my pinger, because you have to be reminded somehow. So I would say it's probably once a week, but it's not like the exact same time every week and the exact same message every week. I'll like and comment on their post. I will private message them, and sometimes they never respond. But then next month they're like, I know, I went MIA. I hate myself for it. Do you have another group coming up?
So my final question is, so do you find, okay, so obviously you want to, help as many people as you can per month. But that also comes with having like 40 challengers in the group. And so my best group ever, I swear, was my first time ever running a group as a coach. My first month, I only had 5 people in it. And it was small, but everybody like add each other to Facebook. They still talk. Mm-hmm. It was the best group ever. It was the first group I ever ran. Now the groups are like 30, 40 people. And it's almost like the more people you have, the less successful your group is. I don't know if that's just me feeling that way because you can't keep track of everybody, but I don't know. Like even this one that we have, Aaron, right now, there's 40 people in there. So I don't know, in your mind, mentally, you think, you don't see 40 posts or 40 call to action, so you automatically feel like it's not a success if it's just me mentally feeling that way. But 40 people seems like a really big group. So as a coach, do you cut it down?
I would hate for you to limit yourself on the amount of challenges you get, but I completely understand, because you're right. With more challengers, the way that you're taking it seriously, they're not numbers to you, they're people. And knowing that you might not give them the one-on-one support because there's 100,000 of them, you're only one person. I have experiences where that it worked well and it worked bad. I know specifically for Core to Force, there's a lot of people in my group.
Oh, that was and you like that group, right?
I led that group, and I actually enjoyed it because
I thought opposite.
Did you?
I couldn't keep up. It was like 100 notifications a day, and I think it pushed me away that I almost wanted to delete myself from the group.
But I think part of the problem with that group, Laura, is that there was so many coaches in that group.
You know why it's different, though? Because you know why I enjoyed it? Because I had a private thread with my customers and me, and I built a community that way. So even though the group was noisy and chaotic, they were not active in the group. They were active in their goals, and that gave them a good feeling, and they became advocates of what they were doing. So it's not necessarily how active your group is, it's how your challengers feel.
Okay.
And whatever you need to do to make them feel on point with their goals, do it. And maybe it's not Facebook groups. Maybe it's a weekly Zoom. Maybe it's the app. I don't know. That makes sense?
Yeah. I think ultimately it comes down, you have to have people that want to do the program, right? I think a lot of the time people want to buy the programs, and they think, like Core to Force, I think that people struggle that we're used to a 30 or 22 minute workout. I mean, I know even for me, 47 minutes some days, plus that extra 16, I was like, I don't even know how people go to the gym. It made me realize how hard it was to go to the gym back in the day. And then I think because I couldn't get those workouts in, I got defeated from the program.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a good thing about Brenda said she understands. I think that's a beautiful thing about All Access is that somebody can commit to the 10-minute trainer. Somebody can commit to the 30-minute program, a 22-minute program, a 5-minute abs, and it's all there. So
sorry, one more question. So Erin was thinking about doing a program for like a whole year straight with challengers. Would you recommend that, or would you do a separate group where you keep old challengers together and then do new groups with your new challengers? Because my only fear is that if you have people in the group that commit for a whole year, they said they want to be part, then the ones that come in that are new, those older challengers may not have the hype as the new challengers in a group setting would be.
I think it depends. I know top coaches who do both. I know some coaches who do year-round challenge groups and they just add people to it, and it's a community. I know some people have tried that and it failed, not because it's a failed idea, but because personalities, I know some people don't want to do year-round. They want to do monthly because they need that like structure. Again,
so what do you recommend?
Personally, for me, I am going to continue monthly, but I have considered, I don't really know if I'm going to ever do this or not. I have considered creating like a community page, like where it's like, a Moxie Fit Club or Laura's Fit Club, where people from previous challenge groups can live in there, and like that's a good like fitness community that I can lead, but I still have new challengers and a new challenger every single month. That's a lot more work for me, and so I had to decide, well, then just like what Sarah was saying, will it split me up where I'm only giving 50% to both groups? Me personally, I'm just going to do 1 or 2 groups every single month. Chelsea Pearson is a coach. I'll write her name in here, and I can even post her video in here. She last year converted to like a one big challenge group ongoing group. And she loved it. I don't know if she still does it. I know some people tried it, and just like your fear, they said that they identified that they were lacking energy into it, meaning it's not that it didn't work, but their time in the groups decreased, which means they weren't as connected, and the challengers felt disconnected, which means they didn't have a good experience. At the end of the day, you can stand on your head, throw a dart somewhere. You can change up your challenge groups. You can do it on Facebook, so do it somehow on some other social media platform, do it face-to-face, do it on the app. It doesn't matter as long as you are putting the time needed into connecting and helping each specific challenger feel connected. Some will, some won't. So what? Who's next? I get that. Some challengers won't, regardless of how much time you spend into them. But it's not necessarily so automatic or so systematic that it's like, if I do this, if I plug in this formula, my challenge groups will work. It's if you care, it'll work. Which you do care. You absolutely care. In the past several months, you cared. You cared so much. Your heart was bleeding that these people weren't committing. But this is a new year, and you were talking about the holiday months. Even though you were saying it was September and October, school's coming back. Finances are getting tighter. People are starting to get sick because the weather is changing. January can be a whole new vibe. Yep, I just said hi. I don't know, Christina. I hope that your challenge groups feel better for you. I don't know. Think through that. Squeeze your brain and say, what do my challengers want? What are their personalities? What are they motivated by? Everybody's going to be different. And if you can customize your groups like that, I know my challenge group started to improve when I started spending more hours a week in them.
I just don't want to overdo it, I think. Like sometimes it's like you post, and then I feel like, I don't know. I don't want to like annoy them with over posting, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's like
and that's probably because you were annoyed at all notifications. I mean, honestly, that's probably because you're like, oh, I had a terrible experience with it. So instead of posting, post something like a daily call to action, post something funny.
I guess like my thing is that like I'll have good challenge. If they drop off, like how much do you private message them, try to motivate until you kind of say, okay, maybe they just don't want to be a part, like, or do you just keep going until the end of the challenge group every couple of days, like, hey, how's it going? Like, I'll send a message, and then sometimes they won't even respond, but you know they saw it, then you come back, you write another message. Like, do you keep going, or do you, eventually you're going to have to.
Because this is no longer a lead you're asking to spend money. This is somebody who spent money, who told you they had goals, and they will be disappointed at the end of the challenge if they don't at least pick up their feet and try again. So I do check in, and I am like, girl, I hope all is well. I haven't heard from you in a while. We miss you. I will remind them of why they wanted it. I'm not going to nag them and guilt them to come back in, but I want to create a safe zone so they don't feel like embarrassed, like they let me down, because then they might be less likely to come back around because they're going to be like, now I'm embarrassed, I let her down, I knew I was going to fail anyways. But I actually host my groups where I host the community, like the daily post on Facebook, which you know this, but just in case anyone else doesn't. And then I do the tracker app, and every couple of days or even once a week I post an update of the statistics of who worked out and who drank the Shakeology, and I give shout outs because recognition is one of the 4 vital behaviors, and I include that even in my challenge groups. And sometimes after a while when I tag people and they see that theirs is like 1 and 2, they're like, I know, I've been slacking, I'm going to get back into it, next Monday is it. And I'm like, yeah, girl, that's awesome. You never know.
Yeah.
It takes time. I mean, I know challenge groups take time, and we can probably, be efficient and have pre-written content and pre-created templates to make that part faster. But figure out what your challengers need, like how you can make them feel accountable. And if they go MIA, you did what you needed to do, and they'll come around.
Okay.
One last question. If anything is super, super on the tip of your tongue right now, and then we'll wrap it up. I really appreciate your time. I would be here all night. I just don't want to be holding you guys back because it's like getting late. We're down. We're good. You're good. All right. After this call, I don't want you to screw around. I don't want you to wander. I don't want you to twiddle your thumbs and be like, but I don't know. You do know. You know exactly what to do. You know exactly what to do. Get a full night's sleep today. Drink some water. Get your workout in. Drink your shake. Talk about it on social media. Do your power hour tomorrow. And stop overcomplicating this. The basics are the basics. The basics are the basics. Do your 4 vital behaviors a day. And if you don't think that's working, it's probably because you're skipping a step. Probably because you're like doing it halfway. You're halfway inviting, or you're halfway doing your personal development, or you're doing a workout every other day. That's probably why it's not been working for you, or you're not adding new people to your list, or maybe you don't even have a list. That's probably why it's not working. But if you are consistent and you can have a list and you add a couple of people a day and you funnel them down and you post, it takes time, it takes effort, but your dreams are worth it. And 2017 is worth it. And your dreams and your goals by April 1st is worth it. Guys, let's run together. There's no better time than right now than to run. I know it's going to make us tired and achy and crazy and question and excited. We'll have a lot to celebrate and there'll be some goals that are missed. But I'm just telling you that it's now, I don't want to be dramatic because it's not like never, but now is the time, like 2017 on January 2nd, like come on, it is a perfect chance for you to hit the ground running and build crazy momentum. One day at a time, just do everything you're supposed to do that one day, and the next day do it again. Capiche? You guys can do this. If I can do this, you can do this. Okay? You guys are awesome. It'll take a long time, but I'll upload this recording to YouTube, and then I will share the link in the page, and if you guys think that your teams will watch it. Okay? All right. Bye, guys.